What is up, Entree fam? Welcome to the Friday Live Helpcast with me, your hostess with the mostess, Diana Gladney. And I'm super pumped and excited, as I always am, to be here before you on Entree Woman TV. This channel is dedicated to helping you simplify the video creation process so that you can reach wider and connect deeper with the people who need you the most to show up in your respective places and things like that. I think now, more than ever, that's never been more true. Everybody needs to be in their lane, in their purpose, and doing the things and showing up in a way that literally does help to change people's lives. So I'm here to do my part in all things video related. That's what I do here. So if you're part of the Entree Insiders email community, you've gotten several emails from me regarding various different things, my thoughts and stuff like that, of everything that's going on in my heart. If you are a subscriber to the podcast, the Video Simplified podcast that went out Monday, that further expressed my heart and some thoughts on some things. And I am kicking it off the Friday Helpcast discussing that because ain't nothing to shy away from, to be honest with you. I think in America, we don't like something, we don't talk about it. And it's just like, we need to talk about all of the stuff that's uncomfortable. I think even when it comes like the video gear, people be afraid. And it's just like, even I'll see in the comments, it's just like, this might be a stupid question, but it's like, if you need to learn or figure something out, it's no dumb question. In confusion, it's like, the enemy is the author of confusion. It's just like, let's get some clarity. Let's get some honesty. Let's get some stuff around. So it's super uncomfortable week. I didn't want to do the Friday Helpcast at all. I wanted to chill. Yeah, like I got work to do for clients and stuff, but I didn't want to be here. Like doing this for real. I was like, nah. I had this Sony A6600 that came in this. I'm still in the 6400 35 millimeter f1.8 lens, and I am now the new proud owner of the A6600 and the Sony 16-70 f4 lens, extremely sharp zoom lens, amazing quality, and the Sigma 16 millimeter f1.4, which the hype is real on this lens. We discovered that last night. If you follow me on Instagram at Diana Gladney, then you know that I was unboxing all the weirdness that came with this lens as well, which was funny. And so I got a chance to talk to some of y'all on the live stream, which it don't save the live stream like it used to on Instagram, like where you click on the profile, click on the bubble, and then you can choose between the stories or the live. I guess they got rid of that, and you can only republish it to your IGTV, which is there. But it's weird now because you can't see the comments, which it just kind of looks like I'm touching the phone and talking to myself. So, it's just kind of weird. So we got Eva Johnson, hi from North County. Hey, good to see you. Glad that you are here. Got Jay to the B. Hey, Diana and Entree fam. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. We've got a question from LDL370Z. I'm gonna get to that in just a moment, but I gotta get this off my chest because I haven't posted a video. I said I want to talk about for real what's what, and people are like, oh, here we go again. It's just like, find yourself. So I'm super straight up, as I always have been with my content. I'm finding dealing with some level of grief for myself in my heart about things like you go through the rash of emotions and stuff like that. And I've talked about this a lot and even opened myself up on Facebook to answer questions to friends that are white that are just like not understanding different things, and they don't feel safe to ask questions because, again, that whole thing, like I said, it's just like the same kind of stuff when it comes to tech. It's just like, this may be a dumb question, and it's just like, there are no really dumb questions. Let's just all get clarity and be done with this. So I see y'all popping up in the chat. Good to see you. Glad you're here. I will get to your questions as I always do. I had to leave early last time because I had a meeting. I don't have no meetings today. Those are done already. So I'll be able to answer those, and you can hop on for your video questions and stuff like that. We'll get to that. But because I haven't said anything on my channel, and I have said a little bit on like Instagram for real had went live. But again, that was not knowing I needed to post to the IGTV for it to stay available, but whatever. But yeah, it's at a time, like I say Entree Fam because I want my community to be a family, and families have problems, families have issues, stuff need to be addressed. And if you like, well, I ain't come here for that. Well, guess what? We humans, we here for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like deal, you know what I'm saying? It's just like even that kind of like throws me off. It's just like get it together. This ain't no major network. This ain't CNN. I don't owe no, you know, like this, all of this was created, you know, it's birthed out of you. And so it's just like you got to show up and do what you got to do, be a leader. And that's it's Entree Diana Gladney, Entree like this is my channel, so I can say what I want. That's where I'm at right now. And I'm gonna address it, you know what I'm saying, for real, because I think we need to. And I want unity and I want family on this channel. I don't want nobody to feel uncomfortable. I don't want nobody to feel like they're not gonna be heard. I don't want nobody to feel like they don't have a place to ask. And I open that up to my community, whether you're watching this live on the replay. If you want to ask a question, you need to get some clarity on some stuff, hit me up on Instagram. After so long, like probably like 6-7 o'clock Central Standard Time, I'm checking out. I'm going to sleep. I'm tired. So, and even if I'm on, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? So if I see it and you don't get a reply, I'm not ignoring you. It's just like, I clock out at some point, essentially. But if you want to ask questions, you need clarity, you need help trying to get through all this stuff, I'm making myself available to my community. You can ask me questions without fear of being judged, talked about, being, you know, feel like stupid or whatever, because it's a lot of people frustrated and angry. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off of it for a second, because here's for those that trying to get understanding. And this may not even be a help cast. It may just be a rant cast. So people are trying to figure out, why are people so upset when I'm trying to ask a question and something like that? Like, because of the conversations that I've had, people are trying to get that kind of understanding. And I'm gonna have to make sure I turn all monetization off on this video, because what I'm about to say is gonna be raw, and it's gonna be uncomfortable, and it's gonna be the truth. And if you don't like none of that, sashay away. It's not, nothing is changing. I'm always welcoming, loving, open, and honest, and I will not change. And that's even in the uncomfortable things. I've always kind of been like this. So in the private conversations that I've had with people that are asking questions, I give this example, and I've been sticking with this example because I think it gives the right place with it, and I'm not over exaggerating with it. And it is just going to be uncomfortable, but you at home and you ain't got to be on here live and embarrassed, you know, so you'll be all right. Because it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to be, it's just, I mean, hell, it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to be just like, because again, like I keep describing it, for a lot of people, this is your day one. For a lot of us that are Black, it's our day 1 million. We've been through every day. We go to work, we go to church, we show up, we go through the drive-through, you know, understand, like this is our day 1 million. We're used to this. This is daily life. And so when people don't have the space and the capacity, and for a minute I didn't, and I would just like, because again, it's not like your Facebook feed is curated to, and let me turn this off because I really can't have nobody come on right now. Let me turn that off. Your Facebook feed is curated for the kind of people that you interact with and engage with and stuff. And so that being the thing, is kind of like, again, I'm Black, went to a Black high school, you know, I got a lot of friends, but it's still kind of diverse. But at the same time, from the time that like you could join Facebook, we were on Black Planet, we, you know, it was on MySpace, your feed and the stuff that you like, it's surrounded like with your community of people. And so for us Black people, we've never stopped seeing it ever. It's like local stuff, your friends post their experiences. I'm the youngest of 6. So not only do I have my experiences, I have 5 other siblings on top of my mother that came from 8 children. And so those experiences that track back from my father and his brothers and my aunt, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like you got to think like that, like your whole family has some level of experience, and it's not just one-off things. And so, like I said, it's going to be kind of raw. So it is what it is. And just kind of brace yourself, because this is the honest to God truth. And this is exactly how a lot of people are feeling. So when you catch the pain or you see the anger or the hurtful comments, I'm not endorsing the pain, but I'm trying to give you a clarity and understanding where people are coming from too. You have a family that lives in a house. In the back of the room in the house, it's a big house, but all the family lives there. In the back of the house, there is abuse happening to a child. The door is closed. You can hear the screams though. You can hear all the uncomfortable things. You know what I'm saying? It kind of feels even different when you go back in this area of the house. A few family members every so often come back there maybe to go to the bathroom nearby. They hear, they don't open the door, they walk away. A couple times, maybe somebody walked in and they say, hey, what's going on here? And it may get a little attention and then it dies down and then goes away. The abuse continues to happen. Nobody really does anything for real every so often. And imagine this continuing to happen for years and years and years until finally you have one person in the family that says, what the hell is going on? They grab the hand of that child, bring everybody up to speed as to what's been going on in the back of the house. And the whole family is like, oh, well, I just turned the TV up. Well, we just kind of stay in the front of the house. We just, we leave. Sometimes it's just like, we have guests over. We live, and continue to go on. And then, some of us knew. And then you have those that are like, it's laws for child abuse. It'll be all right. It's like, it's doctors. You can get help. You'll be fine. So yeah, that kind of stuff. And now it's at a point, the whole family can't turn the TV up no more. Can't leave the house. We got to have a family meeting and we got to address it. That's where we are. And so when you ask sometimes questions, or you're seeing even friends or colleagues or people you're associated with ask a question, you see them get ripped in the comments or something or whatever. Or just even similar people like you see on Instagram or whatever, people you follow, and you kind of following that conversation and you see that, and you see them like, dang, they just trying to ask. It's like, hell, I wanted to ask. It's just like, man, this is why I ain't want to say nothing. And it's just like, well, what are we supposed to do? It's just like, understand that's that level of that kid saying you did know, or you did see, or how are you saying that it's not relevant? Or, you know what I'm saying? That kind of a thing. And so when you say, can we get past it? Or I'm tired. It's just like, again, it's just like, or like the I don't knows and the I don't know what to do's. Understandably, I understand and I hear your frustration and your like genuine, like I'm trying. And you're getting frustrated, you're tired or whatever. Understand it's our day 1 million. It's our day 1 million. And so a lot of people don't have the space and the energy to keep, like trying to be like, it's like, ain't nobody got no damn time to be trying to explain what's been going on in the back of the house, because it's been inconvenient for a lot of people. And like I was just sharing in a lot of conversations this week, a lot of people are uncomfortable. And it's just like, guess what? It's just like, that's the norm. It's the norm. It is the norm. So much so, full transparency. When I started this YouTube channel, I'm like, do I have to do like corny kind of esque music to kind of appeal to the masses kind of a thing? You get the keywords that you got to block, and I got to go put in variations of the N word, variations of slang. And then I'm managing my channel. I have to go in and delete those comments and curate my community for my house. So that may not ever be a thing that a lot of people ever even have to think about and experience or deal with. And they're like, I had no idea. When from a child, when you're little, there are conversations my siblings have had to have with me, recognizing certain things, especially your kid. I was listening to a podcast this week by, what is his name? Michael Hyatt. And it was him and his daughter. And his daughter's mixed. He just had like his first like mixed or black grandkid or something like that or whatever. Which I thought when it popped out, I was like, all right, go ahead on, Michael. you know. But the his daughter that has like a blended family, and I think Miss Kiggs or whatever it is, she was explaining what her experience as a white woman and a mom, and it's just like I figures like I'm raising my sons, not that I have to raise men that have to deal with black men issues or whatever, or just like it's an eye opener. And I get it. But she said it was interesting to have her and her husband have to have conversations with their kids and now realize like I have to snatch their innocence away. It happened. I've been carrying blades, knives, and all that stuff to walk to elementary school as a kid. You know what I'm saying? You walk past a dope fiend, you walk past or whatever, you're ready. You know what it's like when you walk in a room. It's just like, it's just like, here we go. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And I know, so like something that came up, which I know a lot of people are asking questions about too, is that they're like, I know one question specifically was like, do you notice when that happens? Like, absolutely, 1,000%. Because even if I don't know you, it's just like something off, you being weird. It's just like, and it's like, why? What is the problem? It's the same. And like, so I was describing it again in another conversation yesterday. Somebody was like, how do you know? And I said, it's the same thing where if you're in your house and a bird flies in, all of a sudden you're like, what the hell is this bird doing in here? Get this bird out of here. It doesn't belong in the house. Like, he's messing stuff up. It does, like this whole thing. I said, so when we see those looks, which and you got to think we've been seeing it for a very long, all kind of variations of it. And nobody's just out here, well, that person's a racist, it's just like, ain't nobody, that has a stronger implication and a problem for us than it does ever for the person of who we're saying. Like, it have to be for a hard code fact for somebody to just throw that out. It's not a light thing to say because that follows you in your career and your job. If you're saying that, you're not throwing that out all willy-nilly. That's that same kind of a thing for women that accuse a man of rape and then she says like, oh, I was just lying. That will follow her for the rest of her life. It's the same way in the same context. So ain't nobody just throwing that out all willy-nilly. In saying all that, in saying this or what have you, the bird flies in the house. All the tension is on that daggone bird, and just like, why is that bird in here? We got to get this bird out of here so that the house can go back to normal. So it's that same kind of a thing. It's just like, and it's very different. And it's not because it's like somebody have to make it weird for it. Just like, because if that person is not, it's just like we walk in normal. So it's just like, oh, here, okay, I see. Never mind. So like I explained to friends also, that we're trying to understand a lot. It's just like, it's not just the things that we choose to do. It's the things that we omit to do also. I've gone out of town to events, get Airbnbs and stuff like that. I would love to go for a walk. I don't go for a walk because I see the way the eyes cut doing something simple like getting something out of the trunk or just trying to sit in the sunlight in like a sunroom or something. And it's just like, you look like you don't belong to them. And it's just like, here we go. It's the things that we choose to say or choose not to say. If you've been following me for any length of time, you would have seen back in, what was it, like 18, I think it was, my tire got stolen. Back tire got stolen. And I was so mad. Oh my gosh, I was so mad. Because I come out, it's a late day. I don't have to be at work until like 10:30, 11. And I come out and I'm like, is my car sitting sideways? Like, why are you kind of dipped? Like, what's the problem? And I'm like, you got it. I am so baffled. I'm like, you took the whole tire. I ain't even sitting on bricks. None of the things of what they say in the movies would happen when somebody and I'm just like, you got to be kidding. Y'all stole my whole tire, the whole tire. They ain't even leave the bolts for me. I had to buy bolts to put it on there. And I'm like, they's like, you probably should get the ones that like, I'm like, I didn't even know it was a such thing, so, and so you got to report it and call the police or whatever. Police officer shows up and he's like, whose boyfriend you've been messing with that, because, this don't happen unless, and I'm like, dude, I'm single. I'm not messing with nobody. I'm not messing with nobody's, that there's not any confusion. I don't have problems with people. Unless you eat dark chocolate, then that's a concern for you. And you're like, no, but it's just like, I'm like, sir, I assure you, now this is just a trash police department. It's not race related. It's just a trash police department. But it's just the idea of the way, like the level of discomfort and the what to say and what you choose not to say and stuff like that. I'm like, sir, I am not sleeping with anybody's boyfriend. I am reporting a theft of my vehicle, of the tire on my vehicle. Can you please assist me with this so my dad can help me to replace this damn tire so I can get to work, because I am already losing time. I am losing PTO, and all of these things I must calmly express lest I be the angry Black woman. I get to work after the more nonsense and BS dealing with this cop. And so then again, so it's just like somebody that's just being a butthead or a jerk is still just being a butthead or a jerk. And so now I go to work and everybody's cracking up laughing. Even I'm laughing because I'm like, this is it's so ridiculous. It sounds like something in a book. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, I go to work and everybody's just like, what, why, how, one of few, or not, it's just, it's not even a whole lot at the time. Black people that was where I was working, where I was at in the department and stuff. I mean, some, but it's not like, And so it was just like, well, so again, my white friends are like, I would have said this to the cop and I would have said, and I said, and y'all would have been in jail because I don't get that same right or privilege to have that kind of response without having to deal with the repercussion that is a stronger issue and a bigger thing that I have to deal with. Those are those moments, like when we say certain things, it's just like, oh, I didn't realize. It's just like, you get pulled over, something happens to you, and you're like, do I say something or do I not? I shared more experiences on the podcast, which was a really hard thing for me to say. I was extremely emotional, which I don't really like get into crying and all that stuff. Personally, that's just my personality. But it's just like that podcast this week broke me. It broke me because it hurts so much to know that some people are so damn inconsiderate. And it's like you get tired of unfriending people. You get tired of saying whatever or just like trying to be the understanding ear. I am not, nor have I really ever been the let's kumbaya talk about it. Like I said, it's funny because I'll talk about stuff from my assistant pastor. And he's like, I like that because she'll shoot you first and ask questions later and pray for you second. And I'm like, well, praise God, because that's the truth. I'm all for the ear slicing saints in the Bible. Let's get it in the garden because I'm not like, you ain't taking them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, we're going to fight. So it's like, that's my initial kind of a response thinking and whatnot. But at the same time, it's just like trying to be peaceful. And trying to understand, like you get tired though. And so everybody ain't going to have the space and the capacity to deal with that. So no matter who you are or where you've been or what your experiences is and all of that, just know that that's a thing. Everybody don't have that space. And like I said, it's taken time for me, even within like these last 4 to 5 weeks, because it ain't just this week or whatever, or it's consistent. And it's just like as stuff keep coming up and it's just like, okay, we about to slice some ears on in a minute. It's just like, I don't care about no friend requests, no followership or none of that. Like, you about to see me. You about to see me like we in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I live in St. Louis. I handle myself. I sleep with mine every night. A pistol. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that is like professionalism put to the side for a second. Real life experiences and how you have to protect yourself and how you have to manage yourself and all of that as a grown woman coming from dealing with this stuff as a kid to a grown woman now is just like when somebody say they don't like, they really don't have space for it, like understand the where they're coming from with some of that stuff. So it's just like there'll be some that have compassion. If you want to, try to follow somebody that for real does a good job, Nicole Walters of NicoleWalters.com does an extremely good job with that from both sides of the things and explaining things a little bit better where sometimes some of us can't. And so this is not what I intended to talk. I just wanted to touch on it for a second and then like move on. But at the same time, we are where we are and this is real life. And like I said, I think the biggest problem is like even Trevor Noah, I think that's his name or something like that. He talked about it. Like it was from, I think we're from like South Africa or something. He was like, how in this country do you have it to where the government can shut down and that's just not like we get used to it? Like, it's nothing. Well, it'll be fine. Give it a couple of weeks, so just like, it'll be fine. Like we literally, and that's where we've gotten to. My belief, power of life and death being in the power of the tongue. We've gotten to a place of death and not talking about things and letting just burying stuff that still needs to be addressed and handled. You know what I'm saying? We just bury it. And it's still punching like, let me out of here. We need to deal with this. Like I said, this channel is my house. And at no time will stuff happen in the back of the room, the front of the room, the porch, the nowhere, the attic, everything we all hear. Straight up. Because if it's my job and my responsibility, then I've taken this place of helping you to share your vision using video. Your vision is so important and powerful. It goes beyond the tech of learning something and the how-tos. When it's time for you to show up and share that vision, I'm sharing mine right now. It's got my name on the channel and it's not like learntech.com type of a thing. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's still me too. This channel is me. So like I said, I'm always going to be kind, welcoming, loving, understanding, and all of those things every single day with every comment, with every, you know what I'm saying? That's why, like when I get people and they're just like, man, what about bad comments? Show up, let's go. Ear slice and chop them. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't have no space for even the comments. It's just like you punk in the basement somewhere talking stuff about somebody working their butt off to make a video to help you. And you have no record of content at all. Show up and share your vision and the hell with anybody else that got something to say about it. Flat out. So, I said, it's bigger. It's bigger. It's bigger than just like what memory card, what camera, what lens, like it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, and not ever thinking I'd ever have to address or talk about this kind of stuff on the channel. Honestly, it's just like, it's where we are. At the end of the day, it's where we are. Everybody has a place, to be heard, understood, loved, have compassion. I've gotten on Instagram, FaceTime kind of with some of y'all, a good portion of y'all. And you speak your native language is another language. And you'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't quite speak. I hear you. I see you. I understand you. I am not worried about how well you speak English because it's people native to America that still don't talk so well. It's like, even I'll joke, it's like I speak two languages, English and bad English. Let's go. It's like, I hear you. I understand. So this is like, it's across the board for a lot of stuff. You are always welcome, will be heard and understood here. Never talked about. I don't even let nobody go in the comments or with nobody's just like, you want the attention? Let's give you a little attention. You out. My house will be curated in a place where everybody feels welcome, understood, loved, and has compassion for one another. And if that's a problem for you, sashay away. This ain't the place for you. Because I manage mine. All the comments, all the thoughts, all the feedback. I take that stuff to heart. And I make content for y'all. So again, you can share up. You can show up and share your vision using video because it's bigger than all of us. Some people talk about how like they're going to be helping with like sex trafficking stuff. Other people talk about how like they want to talk about mental health. Like this is some real stuff we making videos around. You know what I'm saying? Like so we need to be able to have hard conversations sometimes and show up and be honest and real and just, you know what I'm saying? Like all of that. it's heavy, it's hard, and it's important that we stop being punks online. You know what I'm saying? Like stop. Everybody wants to be all politically correct, and I don't want to say it. Just like the hell with all of that. If you go off on somebody in the street, like because of your kids, and and I think that's the park is probably the best place to see, like you, you know what I'm saying? And I see that when I take my nieces and nephews to the park. Let your kid throw a rock at my kid. We fighting. I fight kids. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? You better get that little no shoe wearing dirty heel of a toe. You know, it's like, it's like so the park is the best place. So that same energy and show upness, like you're not finna, you know what I'm saying? That's how I have with my community. That's how I have with my, you know what I'm saying? And my people that I'm connected with, just nope. You throw a rock if you bad. I throw this whole park bench at you, you know? So we got to be able to show up when it's hard, have conversations when it's difficult and uncomfortable, but still have a place to be loving and understanding, because we all need each other. No life, no nothing. I don't care what you believe or where you show, you know what I'm saying? Like no nothing ever had built into it. Like you can look anywhere in the Bible, it all has community in there, and there's differences in community, and there should be understanding, loving, and compassion in community, period. So I ain't even looked at the comments. I apologize. It feels off to go and talk about some tech stuff, but we gonna transition anyway. And like I said, but either way, I see you, I hear y'all. Just know that's where I stand on some stuff. It's just like, and last thing, I guess, as I resolve out of this, some of y'all gonna have a problem with trying to research stuff and learn and educate yourself, because the title of the book is uncomfortable, and it probably gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you'll see stuff, how to be a non-racist or whatever, just like, but I'm not. And it's just like, come out of yourself for a second. Step off of, just like being attacked, step off of because it's not about you. If I, for example, with endometriosis, stage 4 endometriosis, I battle every single day. You don't know about the word, you know of the symptoms, you know of the problems and the pains that you're having. You go and you find it's just like, oh, you have this problem with this title. I don't want ownership of that word. I don't want to have to deal with that word. But for me to understand what that means, I have to type it in Google and see some uncomfortable images, watch some uncomfortable surgeries, and listen to some uncomfortable perspectives from women that have even had it worse than I have, so that I can try to understand my problem with it and where I stand and what stage of it I have and all of that. And if you can't do that, then it's a problem. It's a problem. And so it's going to be, if you want resources, Black Lives Matter, like whatever, you can just type in a hashtag, literally click on the link, because I don't have it at heart. It's like CC card or something, like, I don't know. But you just type it in Google. Regardless as to how you feel about that phrase or word or hashtag or whatever, again, get over yourself in the moment. To click on it, you go to the resources tab or it's the education tab. In that education tab, they got links to books, videos, documents, and it's going to require you in the moment to watch some uncomfortable things, hear some uncomfortable things. Read some things that is just like, you may feel like, I don't want, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, if you really gonna move forward and through it, you're gonna have to pick it up. You're gonna have to pick it up and go through some stuff. It can't be no more uncomfortable than what we deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does it feel like to wake up and go on YouTube and you see somebody called you the N-word on your channel? You put all of your heart, your energy, your gear, your money, your this, that, or whatever, and somebody got the nerve of just like, brother, we about to have a conversation. You about to see me. I ain't one of them people like, oh, just ignore them in the comment. I go for them. I go for the gold. And then I delete you and block you after I have had my way. I go for the gold. You know what I'm saying? So, let me go through some of these comments real quick. Saying hi, I'm from France. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Dr. Cozy from Texas. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Ride. Love that. Saying congrats on the new camera and the glass. Thank you so much. DeanReynolds.com. I said, hey, Diana, clicked on the link description, one of your videos. To my surprise, able to use the M50 without a capture card. Yes, you are. And it also works StreamYard. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff out there. Doc Rock saying, hello, good to see you. I'm De Brown, good to see you. J to D saying, speak on it. And Roger Wright saying, speaking of unity, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All the love, appreciation, and all the things. Edith, good to see you. Glad you're here. Zaid. I may not pronounce your name all the way proper, but I apologize. So let me know if I can say that better. Saying hello, good to see you. Saying thanks for the information. My pleasure. Ryan saying good illustration. No problem. Jay saying thanks. Awesome for creating space for others. Here for it. Appreciate it. Zai saying say something about George Floyd is just like, didn't we? And that's the thing. He encompasses all of us. His experience is literally no different than all, than all of us have had in some respect. It's the same topic. IET with Mike C saying, with Ecamm Live, can I do an interview through Zoom? Yes. You can still share your Ecamm Live, which they did fix that recently. For a minute, the virtual camera feature was not enabled for, what is it? Come on, memory. Through Zoom, because Zoom turned it off, but it's working now. So yes, you can. So the CJ Kyle saying, how's the 6400 treating you with Ecamm Live? Perfect. I love it. No questions whatsoever. No questions whatsoever. Not no questions. What am I saying? No complaints. So no complaints whatsoever. Either saying, I want to know if I can live stream with the Canon camera. There are 60 something videos on the M50. There's probably about 10 on different ways from Mac or PC or variations of equipment versus not having equipment to do it. So all you got to do is go on desktop in the search bar and just type Canon M50 live streaming. And you can find the most recent videos on, because I know if you're on mobile and you click on the videos tab, it won't let you keep scrolling like infinity or whatever. So either you can click on the playlist or go on desktop and type in search like Canon M50 live streaming, and that will be there. Zaid Sands, can you use the utility for the webcam? Well, I haven't done it for the Mac, so I haven't installed it yet to even try it because I need to record the tutorial for like the how to use it. I'm kind of ad nauseum with the live streaming M50 stuff because it's like, I think I've covered every variation and then something else will pop up in some other way to do it. So I still need to try it out for the Mac with the Canon webcam utility, but for PC, it is there. All right, so let's scroll down. All right, Dr. Kathy, good to see you. Glad you're here. Saying prayer for peace that surpasses all understanding. You're a champion. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. The cuttingedgetv.com. If y'all don't know, I'd add .com on everybody's thing if it sounds like a website. Saying hi, everyone. Hi, Diana. Blessings to you, sis. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I see y'all in the comments. I see your love. I appreciate it. Saints News Network saying preach. I see all y'all. So let me go through, because I promised I'd answer the text stuff. So let me go through. Do I have any recommendations for cost-effective lighting? What's your pricing? Because for $60, you can get a pair of softbox lights. They're bigger, but it has all of the things just about that you would need. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, as far as the brand being able to make it so that the lights are dimmable or not. And that's going to be something that's key with any kind of lighting. You want to be able to adjust it, because just being able to turn it on or turn it off, and it's a softbox light, that's something I made a mistake with when I first bought lights. It's just like buying the type of light and not making sure it met all those qualifications. So I would say if you got like $60, you can go on Amazon and get you a pair of softbox lights. It will have literally a huge light bulb that'll screw in there, but you want to make sure you get something that's dimmable. If you have at least $100, or maybe $200, that's still considered affordable lighting, surprisingly, or not. You can probably get what I'm using, which is a Viltrox light set. It's an LED panel light set. It comes with like a remote and all of that. And then, so like I can turn the lights on, I can turn it off. That's one, that's another. So I can literally controlling that with a remote. I can adjust the brightness if I want it warmer or cooler. And then you can buy softbox light type add-ons, so to speak. And that'll give you a ton of flexibility, last you a long time. You're not dealing with light bulbs and all the rest of that. So depending on where you are, but $60 to $100, even $150 is on Amazon. That's exactly what you're going to find for affordable. Anything less than that is going to be working with smaller lights, but that really won't do the job for you. For Jalal, I think that's how you pronounce it. I see you in the background. So let me know if you're ready to come on. There's a private chat, so you can throw your chat thingy in the thing. Which, I mean, again, to get back to the point of the original thing, you can go to Dyna.link. Let me take that down for a second. Go to Dyna. I'm gonna figure out the way to point eventually. Dyna.link/join if you want to hop on, ask your questions live, and hashtag all the things. All right. Oh, wait, I skipped one person. Exampro.com. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Saying, hey, Diane, I just wanted to say thank you. You're very welcome, my good sir. Glad to be of service. Saying, I have a Canon EOS 50. I guess you mean M50, but saying, I found your videos useful to help me get set up. Well, I'm glad to be of service. Enjoy. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Saying, can you speak on creating a business plan and if it's needed for online sites? My thoughts on a business plan, honestly, are that it's most of the time used for a hindrance more than it is used for a help, especially for new entrepreneurs. The reason why I say that is because when you're not that they don't have their place, but we've gotten to a place where we think I have to meet these check boxes before I can start doing business. The plan essentially outlines your financial goals, your business vision, mission, and things that are more traditional to a corporate structure and the business. It is important to be able to fill out some of those things, but honestly, most of the time, a business plan was like created around making something that you could take to like a bank and you're getting a loan for, and so that you have stuff to work with. Or if you're a nonprofit, what is it, like the what is it, 1106, 1126 doc, something like that. I can't remember exactly the number, but whatever that document is, like 26 pages. And maybe 13 of those would be like if you were trying to get a 501c3. And so you had to have various things filled out. For most online businesses and companies, you don't need a business plan. It'll help to maybe be able to see what can you figure out. But the biggest thing that honestly fill in the gaps for all the rest of that stuff is, who are you helping with what specifically? If you can answer that question and have extreme clarity with the who, to the point you can describe a woman. This is Sue. Sue has 2 kids. She makes about $45,000 a year. She's engaged currently to get married. She's wanting to travel and do some other things, and she needs my business because it fits in here with her overall goal and vision. That is more important, I think, honestly, as an entrepreneur, to be able to answer those questions, because when you show up online, you want to have some level of clarity. Now, your vision and your mission is going to develop over time, and it will evolve, just like mine initially started like helping the busy 9-to-5 woman transform your passion into a business. So I covered a lot of business and banking tips and things like that. And then eventually it's just like, yeah, I care about that, but not as much as this thing. Making more tech videos around like helping, like, no, you need to do a video. You need to show up. Blog posts are good, but that's not going to be the main medium of communication moving forward. I'm like, so, and then the tech stuff took off. So it's just like, and I'm like, you know what? I want to help you share your vision using video. Already have a business by now, already have a thing by now. So it like moved up so that it was a progressive process in uncovering more of the what. And now it's like I'm in my lane of where I'm supposed to be. But that I started helping a busy 9 to 5 woman transform your passion into a business, helping you do this, da 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 da. And eventually I'm here and this is the right place for me. So don't try to come up with I know what I'm doing in the next 5 years, because you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I started with 2016, it morphs, it grows. And you want space for growth and a document that outlines that, whether you have a brick and mortar business or not. And that only really is important for brick and mortar business, because you have to present stuff and take documentation that's filled in its entirety when you go to do banking stuff and things like that. So that's that. So LDL370Z saying, do you know if SparkleCam is a one-time payment or a yearly membership? I'm not really sure. Because I don't think it's worth it anymore. I think SparkleCam is kind of aged out. For a time, it was nobody doing like virtual camera things. Now you got Ecamm Live. Now you got Canon EOS Utility. So unless you have a Nikon and you know what, this just even worth it just to get a capture card with some of these other brands. SparkleCam is kind of aged out, and it was just like, here's an option. It's like, it's questionable if it's going to work or not. Customer service has been known to suck from reports from people in the community, but you can use something else that will work for you. I don't think SparkleCam is the option anymore. So I just don't think it's worth the money, honestly. Adam's Exploits, I was just thinking about you when I was talking about SparkleCam. Saying, good to see you. Glad that you are here. Appreciate you. So J to the B saying, I am convinced my computer is trash. So it was just funny. It's just like, I'm sure many things have led up to that thing. Saying, want to upgrade and buy a Mac. What are your thoughts on the 2020 MacBook Pro 13-inch or buying a refurbished from Apple? I think it don't matter the year, because the processors don't change a whole bunch. And Apple already does an amazing job of what they're doing to make something where every component is really built to work with each other, not just like kind of where PCs have multiple components that can work with each other. And then it's like, oh, that crashed, replace that. It's just like, whereas Macs, they build them so that everything is worked to build and work around each other and work with each other. Not as powerful as you can get probably like a $500 or $800 PC, but more reliable in my opinion, and stuff like that. So I don't think the year of it matters so much. That you could probably even go back to 2016 if you wanted to. But I think that the processor being like an i5, i7 is going to be good, a good marker to pay attention to. The other really important thing is going to be the RAM, or the random access memory. You'll just see it RAM in all caps. No less than 16 gigabytes. Anything more than that, fantastic, but no less than 16 gigabytes. So I'll give parameters of what you should be looking for. The next thing would be if it can have a dedicated graphics card. So you'll see the 16 gigabytes of RAM, and then it should be something else. Like, here's an additional 2 gigabytes for blah, blah, blah. And it's an NVIDIA, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, look for those kinds of things. And even if you don't know what any of that stuff means, you literally can probably open up chat and say, here's what I'm looking for. Does it have at least 16 gigabytes of RAM? Does it like put customer service to work? Just like, does it have a dedicated graphics card outside of the 16 gigabytes of RAM? And that'll put you in the ballpark of something that's good for video, can handle a good workflow with some other stuff. Cause that's the same parameters that, it's like, this month, I think will be the, what I do for getting a new computer and stuff like that. And that'll be the same exact parameters. So Edith saying, I have a Mac OS 2017, but can't download Ecamm. I don't know what else to do. Thankfully, Ecamm is good with customer service. I would reach out to them and see what is more, because it's not just the year and that it's a Mac and something like that. Is the RAM compatible with what they're saying that you need at a baseline, which are pretty easy as far as like the finding out the what. But it's just like, you can ask them and they'll tell you. Like if it's, kind of good enough or not. And it could more or less could be the RAM or something like that. MacBook Airs, for example, aren't good for that because it just don't have enough weight to really deal with that. So I had a question from who came on here. I'm going to post it in the chat if it'll come up, and we'll see here. Oh no, that's not it. So, but basically the question was, um, if I can put this in here by Jalal, I think that hopped on here in the back office area esque. So the question was, said, love the broadcast and all the videos, very helpful. I have a Canon Vixia HFR80, which for those that aren't familiar, that is, wait, I just broke it all the way up. So for those that don't know, that's a camcorder. And planning a live stream, a church sermon. What do you think about the quality of the camera? Camcorders tend to suck. And the rest of that says, to maximize the quality within the camera itself, I already have really good lighting on the stage. So I don't tend to recommend camcorders like that for real, unless it's one of those higher end camcorders, which for the price is almost like sometimes it's just not worth it. Canon don't tend to really add a whole bunch in there anyway. And the difference between lenses, like you'll see that interchangeable lens camera where you can take the lens off of the camera body and put something better or worse on there. With those camcorders, you're stuck with whatever's in there. And so unless it has good internals, good quality and all of that, then it's just kind of like, well, it's a meh kind of camera. You're not going to be able to get the quality. For a church, it could work. If you already have good lighting, any camera just about can look good, if not decent, with good lighting, setting the white balance, checking off some of those basic boxes. I don't ever recommend camcorders because it's just honestly not worth it. Let me look up real quick and we could probably look together. Canon, what's that? Canon HF Vixia, and I'll pull it up on the screen. What is it? H80, I think he said. And I'll share the screen and we can all take a gander at the thingy bobber here. Yeah, HFR80. So let me pull it up on, I guess, Canon's website, and then I'll share the screen with you guys. Chrome tab, Vixia. My gosh, StreamYard, my gosh. So hopefully everybody can see that now. This is the Canon Vixia HFR80, and this is most of those camcorders tend to have the same kind of a deal on sale for $299. And I want to go to the specifications, and we'll break this down for why it probably isn't. So we're looking at MP4, which is just probably just going to be regular good video quality. However, we're looking at a sensor that is very small. Very small. Like, I don't know how big smartphone ones are measurements wise to compare it to, but somewhere thereabout, if not worse. And it's not even as modern as that. We're looking at for the video, even though it has some internal memory, that's good. We're looking at low megabits per second, which is quality. The bit depth, like this stuff here, the quality is always going to suck when it's super low. And so we're looking at 1080p being the maximum amount that we can really get out of this. The only real benefit to this being that it can zoom. So it says an f-stop, it gets to a 1.8. So somewhat of a blurry background you could potentially get, which is nice, but that would be at its widest angle being with 35 millimeter equivalent. So yeah, it's just like, it's all right. The zoom, like I said, that's mostly what those are good for. So if it's a angle, it could be fine, but 1080p up to 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second, 24. Is it worth it for $300? No, because if I go on Amazon, wait, let me pull up a camera because I'll share with y'all in a second, but let me pull it up better. But if we go to Amazon.com, we got $300, potentially $350 if this is brand new. Sometimes it's worth it to stretch it to something better. And even with a cheaper DSLR, which I wouldn't recommend really, but if we look up a mirrorless camera, let me pull that up. I'm just trying to see what will come up and stuff like that. So let's take a look-see here, and I will share the screen again. So now if we look at Amazon, and I'm in the Look at this, showing all my business over here. Mind your business, okay? I'm buying things. And so if we look at what price range do we have for a used camera? Not too far off, but enough where we potentially could stretch and stuff like that. You add on another $340. You have one of the latest and greatest cameras that came out for just simple use case, the Sony a6100. You can find some of those. We have the Sony a7 II, which surprisingly, with the lens, 28-70 lens, you get for $800. I wouldn't do that camera for $800, but it's back here. Panasonic, being that, especially like churches have camera operators for $550, you get the G7, which does 4K video, very high bit rate, so the quality will be good. You can switch the lenses out and still be able to zoom and stuff like that. Even a Sony a6000, which has clean HDMI out. No, it doesn't have a flip screen, but we're not talking about YouTube videos. We're talking about videos for the church and for live streaming. This has clean HDMI out. You can put an array of lenses on there that are amazing and just amazing quality. Even the ZS70, I had this camera, but this camera can zoom, and I've used for production work. And you have other cameras that are back here that are around, like this Olympus cameras, that 430. G7 again is 412, and you start getting into some of these higher options and stuff like that. And even it's probably like some Canon cameras that'll probably come up and stuff like that. But and this is just on here in Amazon's like used. If we go to, I'm trying to think, it's like ProCam, because in trying to find and buy gear recently, I had, or is that what it's not? It's not called that. Procam.com. Is that not it? No, I know that's where I was at. It has to be in Chicago, right? It'll load in a second, allegedly. Potentially, maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. See if it loads up in the background. Oh, now I want to pop up. So procam.com had this pop up just a second ago for a recommendation last night. And so if you go over to like the used section, because if you're trying to get stuff used, and that's where kind of where you're starting at. But if we look, I don't even think if you can get it based off of item or like camera or whatever. B&H is also good for this. Adorama is also good for this. Who else? KEH.com is good for this. $300, push it to $500-$600 even. You can find better equipment and stuff like that. So yeah, like you can even, we got a RP open box $7.99, worth it for the push to get long term, because it's like if you buy something else that is cheaper, it's like you're trying to get something for now. I get that feeling, but at the same time, it's a waste of money, because you're gonna be like, man, our quality, why we can't get our stuff to look better? It's not an interchangeable lens camera, so you can't make it look any better. It's always gonna have 1080p. It's just not worth it. Who we got here? Somebody asked a question, I guess I missed. Let me scroll back up. Okay, Adam saying everyone has pretty much jumped off of Canon for Sony cameras for live streaming. Canon, it's like, yeah, the R5 and R6, whatever's going to drop, is too late. I'm invested for real now. This lens is like the 16-70, which is a very new lens. It's just like, I think open box even. This lens runs for $1,000, brand new. This 16 millimeter, Sigma 16 millimeter lens is running for 400. Was it $399? Yeah, $399 to pay for this. It came with some other accessories of $399. This camera, again, open box. I think I got it for brand new $1,100. Like, we in it to win it up in this memory cards. That's the other stuff. Like, y'all saw the battery price is like $70 for the 1Z battery. For the Sony, that's way bigger. Oh, way worth it too. Battery life, it's worth the hype. It is worth the hype. I didn't have a problem with these because I only have one other NPF 50, the ones that go in like the A6400, any of the older ones. People clown about battery life. It's not that big of a deal, especially for cameras that charge internally, and it runs off the power adapter. I have two, batteries. Not people like, I need 8 to vlog. It's like, calm down. You need one other battery and a charger, because you're just going to put it on a battery bank like you do your phone and stuff anyway. So it's like, I have these battery banks anywhere. It's like I have a little USB thing that's no bigger than this, really, that I charge it and throw it back in my bag. So I have the spare battery charging. And then like you stop, you eat, you're not always vlogging and stuff and your camera on. You can hook your camera up to the battery bank. So like, this is really not that big of a deal as much as people, unless they just literally don't want to carry anything else. But it's like you carrying 83 of these. So it kind of don't matter. But comparison wise, you know, it's much bigger, much better in quality comparison and all of that. It's just like, it's amazing. So, you know, it really is worth the hype for it. I don't care what nobody says. And like, once I got into Sony for real, I was like, you know what? It's worth it. Like, I found my home. Canon was good. I appreciate the start and all of that. I found my home with the quality of the lenses, impeccable quality of the sensors, the low light capabilities of just the APS-C sensor cameras. Worth it. Great information. I'm considering buying the Panasonic G7 for streaming your thoughts. It's fine. Only thing with the Panasonic G7, and I've had the G85, which I love Panasonic cameras, but they suck with autofocus. Like, there is just like none with autofocus. Like, it is bad. It is bad. And I was fine with it. And I was like, I can work with it. And I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. But it's like, when you got it going, the autofocus doing this the whole time, and it's just like, my face is right here. You doing all of this, like that bouncing stuff, or you see stuff in the background, like where's this? Like, you see that Storm action figure back there. Just imagine if it kept doing this the whole time. It's just like, what the hell is that on the side of her? It's just the autofocus trying to figure life out. I don't care what they do. It just sucks. Live streaming. If you're doing this, I'm always sitting in the same spot. I only take the camera down now to use it for other things, but the focus essentially will be the same, but you're manually focusing, or you're doing it so like the focus box, it's like, we're only going to focus right here. Whatever comes in this box is what we're going to focus on. And that's what I used, the zone focusing, which is neat. And to be able to shade it in with your fingers is cool, but it's also frustrating when you want to do more. So if you only are going to do live streaming, you only got it setting there, you can probably find those for $300. Quality is impeccable. Lens options are impeccable. Autofocus sucks. Just know that you're buying essentially a manual focus camera. And so you always got to do the twisting thing or whatever. So, you asked Adam. Well, Adam threw it back to me. So IT Security Lab saying, what Sony is best for the cost and for the quality? If you, it depends on what you need. And price wise, any of the Sonys though, from the A5100 to the A6000, the A6300, the A6400, 6500, 6600, all of those cameras will live stream. Now, for Sony, the 6000, 6300, 6500 are older cameras. For live streaming, they will still live stream though. So you can get that A6000 for extremely cheap. It doesn't have the flip up screen. So it's like, if that's not important to you, then, you know, but all of them will live stream though. And like I said, even to the A5100. And you can find those cheap, like Facebook Marketplace, all kinds of places and stuff like that. It's just one website that I found was cool. It's like mpb.com, which I was thinking about doing a video where to find like the best used equipment online or camera gear. And so it's this one company called MPB, which, let me try to figure out the share screen again with StreamYard.com. Like, this is mpb.com. Should be able to see that. Okay, yeah. All right. So, like, you can find, let's go to not medium format. What do we want? Mirrorless. Where's the mirrorless? Do it not matter? Decisions. Digital SLR. I really don't want that. I want mirrorless. So, are they back here at all? Yay, nay, never nay. I wonder, is the video? No, because that's got to be like camcorders. I guess it's over here. Let's do price, low to high. Hopefully, it don't give us no accessories. It just gives us cameras. Okay, scroll past extremely old stuff. None of what you want back here in these streets. T7 284 that came out in 2017. I don't know nothing about Nikon. T6i 359. A ton of YouTubers had those. 7D Mark II. This line of Canon, the 7D. Canon missed the mark there. Like they dropped the ball there because there's so much that could have had. 5D Mark III, 874. But where are the Sonys? This is all nice and all, but I wonder if they have any. Let me just try a search real quick. Sony. But do you have any though? Cameras. Because it's always going to be a lot of Canon and Nikon DSLRs. Surprisingly, Sony had DSLRs back in the day. They're A mount lenses, not A mount lenses, but A mount system. Let's go Sony. I guess are they under compact camera? I guess. A6000, $299, and they got 8 of them. A6300, $634. I think it's low overpriced. But the quality must be probably near perfect. So if they kept it on a tripod, then you should probably shop around for those. A6500, $779. At this point, right here, you can buy maybe used a used A6100 or a brand new Sony A6100 that just came out. With that Sony A6600, all the autofocus amazingness, live streaming sharpness, 6K downsample to 4K, amazing quality, like all the internal charging. So at this price, I wouldn't even bother with these. I just get the A6100, and all of that stuff. So, and you got other stuff that's back here price wise, and all those good things. So, this is a really old one. I want to grab one of these. I was thinking about that today. I think I'm gonna see what the evolution of Sony mirrorless cameras were with these NEX, because this is when they first started the E mount. So I want to get one of these. I may buy one of these. I was looking at like the NEX 5 or something like that. I'm gonna check one of those out. But A6100, $600. Anything less than that, you had what was it? Nope, $299. A6000. You're using it for live streaming. You can put a battery bank adapter in there like I'm doing with mine. The batteries are cheap. These little ones, these are cheap. I wouldn't say get like third-party batteries. That's one thing I've changed over the years. It's not worth it to buy the third-party batteries, honestly, just to have a bunch of them. It's worth it to go ahead and just invest in one used actual branded battery, because it'll last you way longer. You don't have to worry about it getting swollen or any kind of like defects over time, regardless of the ratings. Because nearly all the ones that I've ever bought, it's like at some point you kind of wind up getting rid of it because it just loses its thing. Like these are so much more worth it money-wise, and you'll spend like, what's only $20, $30? Keep making videos that you'll be spending that $20, $30 over and over and over again. Just go ahead and spend it the one time, $40, $50 for one battery that is the branded one. It'll work way better for you, but that's my thoughts there. Eva saying, I bought the Canon. I bought from Canon in English a refurbished M50 with a 15 to 45 millimeter lens. Very pleased with the purchase. Currently selling for $399. That's also correct. They have had some amazing deals on the M50 recently with that. So. You can find some good stuff in Canon's refurbished. Absolutely. So wait, how did I scroll down? Okay. So Adam saying question. Okay. Well, I just answered that. So, let's see here. All right. So I see y'all talking. Okay. So Robbie Sco, good to see you. Glad you're here. Saying, sweet. You like it. The Sigma 16 on the way from the M50. The hype is 1000% accurate for the Sigma 16 millimeter lens, because now I'm thinking and I'm watching the videos just like everybody's like, man, that lens is nice, but it ain't all that. It's just, it's like everybody hyping this stuff. The crispiness is real. The quality is real. How well it performs with autofocus is real. How smooth. But like in somebody that does video production work for like even just for like, here's how good it is in sharp, which is kind of like questionable. And I'll tell you why, because I was doing a video last night that I needed to upload and send off, which I did. I'm like, I was trying to wait till I got this lens in the mail and it came. It was like a day later. So I'm like, oh man, I gotta get this video out tonight. The f1.4, like what we're looking at right now is it can get down to an f1.8. It's not at that right now. It's like f2.5 or something at the moment. And I'm like, okay, f1.8, this lens is amazing. Just like, look at that audio video that I did. That's just natural daylight, a little wood board, and just pick, like, it is so good. This lens is so good. This lens is the little brother, if there was such a thing, 16 mil. The hype is real. And so I'm sitting down and I'm doing the video. Now, I think I had took a nap earlier. So you know how you kind of get sleep face, creases. I'm sitting there and I did the live stream, the unboxing and all of that. I had like a line or something. And then it's like my skin was oily like it is now. And I'm looking, I'm zooming in. I'm like, ain't nobody asked you to see all of that. Be a little softer if that's what sharpness and crispiness going. I'm like, you don't need to see my sleep lines on my forehead. So now I'm like, oh man, how can I soften that in editing? It's so good. I cannot wait which is like, I needed to hop on camera too, just to even hop out of of all of this, week and stuff. And so I'm like, okay, let me, build my energy back up. And I'm just like, okay, I got all this new equipment. I got all this new gear. I need to use it. I need to, crank out more videos and stuff like that. But I wanted to do it with this stuff. The hype is real. So even so much so, Candace Simmons, who I did the video with, about, it's the only thumbnail with that's not me. So like you see Candace's bald head on there. And so it's like finding your look video. And so he just bought it because he's like, oh man, should I switch to Sony? He was like, I feel some kind of way because you got all this stuff coming in. I'm like, get a better lens before you get a better camera. And so I talked to him about it. I'm like, if you really feel like you want to switch, you just feel like it's not working for you, or you just want more, fine, go to Sony. Just know it's expensive lenses. You're talking about memory card, the file sizes, all of that. So better means all of this. Now you've come up another level. Case in point, 10 to 18 millimeter for a Canon, $350, maybe brand new, $399. 10 to 18 on a Sony, $899, brand new. You can find them maybe used for $630, $640, $650. The quality is there, but it's just like, can we get a cheaper 10 to 18 out here in these streets? So, but you buy this for your Infinite. I am confident now. I wasn't sure like what it would be on the Infinite, but it's like talking to Ken. I am confident you get this lens for like it'll breathe new life into your videos. Like I stand by that. So much so I'm willing to rent one for the M50. It's honestly not fair to put the Sony A6400 or even 6600 with this lens to the M50 with this lens, because the quality coming off the Sony sensors is way better. The quality is honestly better. Can you get amazing? I mean, amazing on the M50 with this? Yes. Because like in talking to Candace and I saw the video, I'm like, that's a new breath of fresh life in content creation with that lens. So if you want it, buy it. It's just amazing. Oh, we got a super chat. Holy moly. So I didn't see that. Where is it? Focus Spread 2020 said I'm using Soundflower /black hole for audio. But it's not that clear. Do you have any suggestions? In full transparency, I have no idea what those are. If those are audio softwares, like if you're into DJing and stuff like that. One person that does video content that I like and that I followed, his name is John Sine, Jonsine. If you're into like DJing, audio mixing and stuff like that, and potentially doing some videos, he does both. And so like he'll talk about software tools and even do like tutorials and showing like building a studio. I would say check out John Sines for like a competent answer on this. But if you're talking about just like getting your audio clear, especially distributing that online, one, it's always going to be connecting via Ethernet for everything, including your phone. So like you'll see these kind of adapters out there for iPhone, for example. Like you can see where you can add like a USB microphone or something, and then also charge it. Also, though, you have these. You see that switch there? That's masterful switching out here in these. It's an Ethernet port. I haven't shared this on the channel yet, but this is going to be a video just about how to get stronger quality in video. And so, like, if you're using your phone or something or tablet, you can use an Ethernet. So for stronger internet, still charge it and have like a USB microphone. So like this little adapter will give you an all-in-one kind of a thing. So your audio, one, is always going to be like Ethernet. You don't want your files and stuff breaking up. And for real, that I found like cables, cheaper cables get interference. It sucks. It just like, you know what I'm saying? So, but for competent software wise though, if you're into like audio engineering, DJing and stuff like that, check out John Sign's channel. He's a DJ. He's over in Germany, actually. Amazing content video wise, as well as far as just like his realness and stuff. And then he talks about the software tools and the how and all of that stuff. Another person is Henny the Business, HennyThabizNess. Don't ask me to go to the spelling bee. You know, it's like, but Henny the Business. He used like his iPad, sometimes like MIDI controllers and stuff like that, because it sounds like that's the space. And he makes, again, amazing video quality content, as well as showing you and how to use your audio stuff. Those are the two channels that I would absolutely recommend for sure. So Focus Brand saying, thank you. My pleasure. And then even somebody's recommending, for those who are watching later, Robbie's saying like Black Hole Audio, it can be cleaned, maybe be able to clean up in OBS. Yeah, and then I found too, Audacity can do a lot with clean up audio as well. Let me make sure I didn't skip anybody. So Edith saying you got to go. All right, Edith, take care. Good to see you. Robbie saying awesome hype. Sigma comes in 2 weeks, and I'm filming in dim colorful hue. It's sharp. I didn't have any lights on other than that pink one. I didn't even have the one like behind the sofa. That's the second light. I turned that one off. It was just this one. One of these lights still at the darkness. So even if I cut off the side light, so it's just like a light like this, about this same distance. Now this is on the 35 millimeter, and you can kind of see the lighting and stuff like that. I took this Sigma lens back there, and I'm pushing the light further back. I'm like, I got to cut some stuff down, because I'm like, I'm getting overexposed. It's getting too bright, because it is sharp, is good. It does. And again, the Sony already didn't have a problem in lower light situations or indoor lighting. And so I'm just like, yo, I'm a believer. Okay. I am a believer. Adam saying the Sigma seems well made. Also, 450 for the Canon though. What was it, like Adam's camera or Alan's camera .com, which is they had some sales. Let me see if I can share that real quick. Let's see if we can find it together. Because they had some sales going on. 16 millimeter for Canon. And if you go to this website and you decide you want to get it, use another creator's link, because I'm not associated with them, but it's allenscamera.com/fro, F-R-O, for Jared Poland's website. He's the one that put me on to them. And so just so he gets a little kickback, since that's who this original recommendation is coming from, and just to give some love to another creator on YouTube, go to allenscamera.com/fro. But you can find it here. I know they had it for $3.99. The shipping is fair on here, and the customer service is good, and their website is modern. And this is a small mom and pop shop, so if you like shopping local, like my local shops, they're really non-existent and they suck online. It feels like we're in 1999 on the internets with them. So hopefully you say a prayer for them. But but you can find it here. This is a place to find it if you're trying to find it for the M50 for $3.99. But that's what I would say for there. This name, has me questioning my readability factor 6.0 right now. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Tell me if I butcher this. Miss S. We're going to call you Miss S or Mr. S. Dean, listen, S, D dot S dot. Okay. So if I, good to see you, glad you're here. First of all, so if I use the M50 along with the Canon Utilities app 3, along with the Ecamm Live, do I need the dummy battery, and will the camera go to sleep after 30 minutes? So to add some clarity, you do not need to worry about the 30-minute limit when you are using Ecamm Live with the Canon camera. You also do not need to worry about that because you're not using the HDMI connection. You're going to be using the USB connection. For that reason, you don't have to worry about it. Ecamm Live takes care of all of that in software. Now, you do not need, because I can see the two points of confusion here. When I have talked about using the Canon Utilities app for live streaming, it is because of that 30-minute limit that already exists, because Canon does not make their majority of their cameras with the ability to live stream inside the camera. We're working around and doing a bunch of hacks to get it there. So we would use the Elgato Cam Link to connect for live streaming. We're using whatever software that you want to use to broadcast with. For me, that's Ecamm Live. And, which I got an announcement to make, and probably could do a giveaway, but real quick, I don't know how I want to do the giveaway. I'm not going to do the giveaway live because that just, now I'm remembering, don't do the giveaway live. Okay, so I want to do a giveaway. One is coming. I'm going to be giving away a year of Ecamm Live to somebody. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. I got to figure it out. So let me hold my horses there. So that's coming. So yeah, let me start over since I got hyped in off the bandwagon for a moment. What Canon does not put in their cameras the ability to live stream natively. The normal way to live stream would be via HDMI. Because we now need to still get around this 30-minute record limit, we need something to keep the camera busy and awake. Now, that was that Canon Utilities app that we would use to cancel out the 30-minute, to keep the camera like, hey, stay awake. Whatever you use to live stream at that point, being like for me, Ecamm Live is just the tool that we're using to live stream. You can replace that with anything. I just think like if you're on a Mac, Ecamm is the best. That's all of the problems via HDMI regardless. I do not suggest any longer connecting to the camera via HDMI because there are USB options that automatically cancel all of those problems out. If you're using the USB method, which if you have followed me for any length of time, you know my absolute love for white chocolate over dark chocolate, because dark chocolate tastes like mud and dirt in the bottom of a tennis shoe. It's like, well, how do you know what that tastes like? Because I had dark chocolate. But it's like, if you take the USB method of live streaming, we don't have to worry about the 30-minute limit with Ecamm Live. It's built into the software to take care of that. We only now really need to worry about the battery life. At that point, I would recommend like that Rice Up, because that's the only one that seems to stay in stock. That's on that video I talked about. You just need to worry about the battery life. You always need to worry about the battery life if you're live streaming. So that's the two disparities between that kind of a thing. So M, good to see you. Glad you're here. Saying Cantus is a great friend of mine. I saw that stream. Awesome. Eva saying, did you buy new or refurbished the 16mm and how much? I bought mine new on Amazon because if you're following me on Instagram, we did the live stream last night of the unboxing of it. It came with a bunch of stuff for free. And some stuff is weird that came with it. So, but it just had extra like a bag and some other stuff that's kind of like back there. You see, back there on my sofa. But it came with a bunch of helpful stuff and some weird stuff. And I was like, for $3.99, I don't. Why not just get the lens? I can also get the lens. Plus, it had like a cheap memory card that I could probably use with audio recorders, maybe, and then just some other helpful stuff. So I got it off Amazon. All right. So, all right. Let me go to comments that I might be missing. Okay. Okay. Adam is saying free shipping plus sales tax when you buy directly from Sigma. He's saying he was surprised by that. So my thing is that if I don't want to pay sales tax neither. So it's just like that. So that's where I use that Honey Chrome app. You can go to like Dyna.link/ like honey or honey app or something like that. But I use that to see if there is sales tax or whatever. But then too, if you buy from B&H, Adorama, any of those, it's like not only, you kind of deal with the shipping side of things, you don't have to deal with the sales tax also. But either way, it's good. It's not that bad. The cuttingedgetv.com saying, have you heard of any dates of when Ecamm will start the native multi-streaming and native video chat? I guess and also to kind of like bring on a guest. I'm not sure. I don't know yet. And it's not like I have insider info and I can't release it yet. Like I don't know yet. They said the summer, hell, last time I checked, it was hot outside. So we're starting to get there with it being June. So I'd say, let's say put it on a timer of like 30 to 60 days, potentially. It may come out before then, but I know they were testing it to see and make sure it was stable and that it was working. And then it should be coming out very soon. But as soon as they get something like that, in my experience with them, as soon as they are able to test something and it's just like a lot of people tested it, it's working, release it. Like next day, release it. So they're really fast about that. So it'll be coming. I'm saying at least 30 days, 45 days max, maybe. Adam saying, does the Canon beta turn off at 30 minutes? Like I said, the Elgato Cam Link won't work for me with my PC and Sparkle Cam. I have to test that because they just unleashed it for Mac. So I have to test and run some tests to see if it's going to punk out at 30 minutes or not. I would hope that since it is via USB, naturally that keeps the camera in a busy mode. So pre-testing thoughts based on that data, I would say that it should it should stay on longer than 30 minutes. It should not have a problem, but I'm going to be watching for hiccups and all of that. So Robin saying, a question, do you use an ND filter with the Sigma 16mm outside? And did an ND filter come as part of the combo on Amazon? The kit that I bought didn't come with a ND filter. And I wouldn't want it anyway if it did, because you spend so much money on a good piece of glass. If I'm putting any kind of anything in front of it, it needs to be also some kind of a good piece of glass. It's expensive, but because it's like everything, it seems like costs a couple $100, but it's like you get in this space, it's like you don't want to buy an amazing camera and put all trash in front of it, stupid cheap audio that sounds bad, stupid cheap lens that looks bad. Like it kind of defeats the purpose. So I would say, and Dana, I do see I'm coming to you because I saw that before, and now that I see your comment again, so that I'm going to get to you, I promise, in just a second. So what I'm looking at for an ND filter for this lens, I'm looking at Moment Lenses has one that they created. And then Field World has one that they created that's a big enough filter thread size that I'm going to be checking out. Because since I'm going to be using it for client work, I want to make sure that it does a good job. I think I'm going to go with the one by Moment Lenses for it. Again, it's a little bit expensive. But the thing is, why though? What is it? ND filters. Reason why though is because it's like I'm spending thousands of dollars now on equipment and gear. The filter needs to not mess up that image. And I think Moment uses some kind of quartz material. It's not glass, it's like quartz or something in the way that they do it, but the quality is very, very noticeable. Maybe hard to see on YouTube, but it's very noticeable. So I'm trying to see, let's see if I can share that screen real quick. But this is for Moment Lenses. They have a amazing YouTube channel. So if you're trying to learn smartphone filmmaking stuff, yeah, so it's like 280. That's a 2-pack though. I think it's like 100 and something for just the one. It's a stretch. I don't like spending that much for little stuff, because I'm looking at like, oh, tack on another $100. That's the lens, but these are all ones for smartphones. This one up here, this kit is for, what's my monitor going out? This one is for whatever, but yeah, 140. It's not bad. It's just like it's gonna be an investment though. But again, I'm looking at one lens I know I want over time. It's like $2,200. I'm not dropping that kind of money. YouTube, get whatever cheap one on the internet. Honestly, it almost don't matter. But if you spending some significant money on gear and stuff like that, it's worth it to go ahead and buy the better thing. The quality is noticeable. It's very noticeable. It's a hard pill for me to swallow at $140, honestly. But once you put it on there, you know, I'd probably tie that into a fee of like it's like how many super chats before I get enough to cover that buy, or it's like if I'm doing a review on it, how much money is this video going to generate for me to make that make sense? But because I do client work already, and I already have my own stuff, affiliate income or whatever, all the things, it's just like it's cost of doing business for me. So yeah. Somebody said, okay, so I can call you Didi. Thank you. Good Lord. Okay. Wait, Dana, I'm gonna answer your question because you asked her that before. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying, what's your thought on using an iPad Pro for lives? The quality is fine. The ability is there. I don't think that there's anything really other than just making sure you meet those base requirements of, making sure the lens is clean. You can go to Moment, get adapters and stuff like that you could use. And there's other companies out there that's obviously cheaper, same or comparable quality, and be able to get like good stuff. I'm trying to think of Switcher Studio, because all of their stuff is iPad and iPhone based for live streaming. They have good recommendations of different things and the how to get the best out of using your iPad. I think it's fine. It's just a matter of working within the limitations of that sensor size, it being small like a phone. You want to have good lighting. You want to account for your audio and things like that. Is that iPads and iPhones is no joke with the quality, even like Android phones and things like that. Adam, you're saying my understanding is you need to turn off the utility link to use any beta software. Yeah, I haven't played around with it. I'll have to see once I hop in there and check it out. Steve H, good to see you. Glad you're here. Saying, are you planning on getting an A6600 soon? Seen it for sale for $11.99. Very, very tempting. Well, I already have one. So, upside down. See that? A6600. I already got one. Came last weekend, but less than a week old. I already got one. In addition, like I said, the Sigma 16 millimeter lens, 16-70 f4 lens. Had some other stuff in the cart. I got a partial cage coming. I already got one. So I'm very pleased. Eye autofocus it'll make you feel like something is on your eye when you move. It is that daggone good. Like even like with everybody's like, oh, the IBIS isn't the best. And even I'm saying the same thing. I still need to go out and like kind of vlog with it. But even just kind of like moving around the house using a lens that has stabilization with it. It's just like, I think on YouTube, sometimes we kind of get into this vacuum of seeing the Walmart TV shelf where it's like, if you come to my house or your friend's house and you see the $250 TV that's however big and stuff on the wall, you're just like, the game looks awesome. Yeah, whatever. they aren't going to say, "Oh, that's the $250 TV. Really should have got the $350." Like nobody, like you. So other than just making sure is what you want, I think that those comparisons are, it's like, oh, look at the little jitter, and they zoom into like the corner. It's just like, calm down. Unless it's not, as long as it's not horrible, which is in the lineup of brands. The Ibis isn't the best. Olympus always has held the thing for that, and then Panasonic, and then Canon's even digital is better, but Sony has a digital, but it's good, but it's beside the point. But it's just like, if I'm vlogging, you're following me for the point of the vlog and what's going on, and you're not looking in the corner 400%. Like if you zooming in, just stop it. Go get some cookies and some ice cream and enjoy yourself. And so it's fine. You know, I'm for the work that I'm doing, the handheld work or whatever, it'll be a non-factor. And I think that'll be the case for most people. I just don't think it's that important. What are we looking at here? All right. So Shirley, good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying, instead of Ecamm Live, do you have a Windows recommendations? vmix, vmix.com is as good as it's gonna get, I think, in my opinion. There's another one, Wirecast, WIRECAST.com, Wirecast. Those would be the two that I would suggest. But you know, it's just a good live streaming platform that you could use for like this kind of a stream, churching kind of a stream, event, small events kind of a thing. So you know, those will be the two that I think about. All right, so we got so Focus Branson, dang, I want one. I'm telling y'all, it's just, it's no question. It's no comparison. Oh, Didi, you didn't ask the question of the century. ecammlive.com. It is no question for me. Zero. I switched and bought a Mac just for Ecamm Live and for Final Cut Pro 10. Period. StreamYard can't hold a candle to it. I am so, as soon as my hand unto the Lord on high, that they get that ability to join via a link with Ecamm that is apparently they're testing now. As soon as that hit, the Helpcast is going to transition to over there, because the quality can't be beat. It's just so many things. Like the thing that really sold me on that was the user interface and how much you can do. And like I'll be even doing like a client mastermind using Ecamm Live, and all of that stuff is, you know, it's just, it's so powerful for what you can do. For you guys though, if you need simplicity because you don't have a powerful computer, or you just need the basics, you know what I'm saying? Like you've spent enough money on stuff maybe, and you're like, I just need basic. I need to be able to run off my MacBook Air or something, and a browser-based thing works for me. That's the difference. And then StreamYard too is like, it's not specific to a Mac, or if you're a Windows-based user. It's just really about, do you want to use it or not? It's like you can get up to 4K on Ecamm Live. If you don't care about that, you can do 720p, which is what this is, that you're seeing. And sometimes it may get pixelated or weird looking and fuzzy. Don't have nothing to do with me, because it's all Ecamm. I'm doing 1080p, 30 frames per second, freaking $400 lens, $1,000 like, you know what I'm saying? Like all the best of the best. And Ecamm was just like, we can do 720p. It's what we can do. So hopefully at some point that they rev it up, but that's my thoughts. It's no question. Ecamm Live. David or Adam is saying, David from Live Streaming Pros says Wirecast has lots of problems. He recommends vMix. That's true also. So I know some people like Wirecast. Excuse me. Some people like Wirecast. And so I guess it's just really a preference, which all of them, I think, has trials or something like that you can at least give a go. I think vMix is the most stable. I think that's going to be important. Oh my goodness, my stomach is growling. I ain't had nothing to eat yet. I'm glad y'all can't hear that. Let me scroll back up, make sure I didn't miss any comments. Okay, Talk Ethiopia with Isaac. Glad to see you. Glad you're here. You're probably already gone, but if you watched on the replay, I got you. Saying, glad to catch you live. Can you tell us technical specs of a USB Ecamm connection with the A6400 Nikon D5 where's my numbers in my head? Nikon D5300. What's the quality difference? How much does it downgrade from the Cam Link? I don't know. I don't know. For the Nikon, I have no experience with the Nikon other than the Z6, which I was very impressed with and I thought was a bomb camera. But it had things about it that I personally don't vibe with. But it's a bomb.com camera. However, there is a video already out about USB for eCam. At the time, the update hadn't happened for the A6400. Now that I have both 6400 and the A60 600, I'm gonna have to redo the USB testing. But even still, the quality was not any different. That I think that's another one of those BS statements that happen on the internet too, of people that are just too anal. And it's just like they probably spend 83 minutes in the grocery store trying to decide on toilet tissue. Those are those people making those videos, I'm convinced. So I think that when it comes to like, and because it's not significant. If you watch that HDMI to USB, I intentionally flip back and forth. Every new clip, it's flipping back and forth between you and nobody that has watched it could tell. Not one person. Not one person. Some people are upset, like you could have just told us. And it's just like, make your own mind up. And I don't think that that's a valid thing of between a USB and an HDMI connection. Not my experience with Ecamm Live. I don't know about the Canon one and all of that stuff. I think there is some differences there because that was only like a 560p, less than HD, like old school 1998 freaking soccer mom camera quality. But I think it's a noticeable difference there. But Ecamm Live, it's no difference. It's just like the quality is there. So I just think that's one of those BS statements that kind of like you get in the toilet comparison people like, I like Charmin because it has an extra 3.96 pieces of lint that's gonna hang off your behind for just like it's like saying I'm still here. Oh, wonderful. He's saying thanks. Sure thing. Let's see here. Adam's saying, and you can upgrade it anytime. Eventually you need the Pro. It's like $1,200. Oh, he's talking about where was it at? Said you can try vMix for a 60-day trial. So that's the cool thing. So 60-day trial. So that's awesome. Adam's saying not anymore. People don't understand social distancing. I try to get in and out the supermarket. Yeah, good luck with that. Shoot, because people just then got too comfortable, just like, I don't believe, and I'm gonna breathe on your shoulder. I had one brother walk up behind me, and he was high as a kite. Let me tell you something. I felt high after he was reaching for. I'm like, sir, you are loud. And I'm like, this don't come grocery snack buying after you've bought your go and then you all extra close, back up. I got on the mask. I'm like, it's cutting through. I'm like, I need another one. This mug is contaminated. And so, it just is what it is. But he said, I'm convinced now that the USB on Ecamm is white. It is 1,000% the highest quality, the highest form of white chocolate we have ever seen on the conveyor belt at freaking Hershey Farms, or it's not Hershey Farms. I'm thinking like Purina Farms of like Hershey Factory and all the best of the best. It is the pinnacle, the premium. It is the bee's knees Hall of Fame in my book, and I stand on that. So, DD's saying Canon sure has a better compatibility as a webcam with Camera Live and Cam Twist when compared to other brands like Sony and Fuji. And I've tried the Cam Twist with Camera Live connection before. So that is an option. The only thing is just like reliability, dependability with open source stuff. And then too, the other thing that comes back of doing videos around content like that, when people have problems, they come and ask questions, and I don't like to not be able to answer it. And there's really no point in me making stuff that is just like, I can't really help you on the back end with it either. And so it's like, if somebody was like, how do I fix it? It's just like, I don't know. That's why you don't find no OBS stuff on my channel. It's just like, I cannot help you. People like, I'm using OBS and such, and like, stop right there. I don't know. So it would be a disservice to my community to talk about something, or, to do a quick tutorial for the views or something, or because it's highly searched and I can't really help you with it because I'm not really actively use. That's why I hated talking about Sparkle Cam, because it's just like, just buy a capture card or something, or just use a Mac. It's like some, it's like, so it's that kind of a thing. I see we have a hater in the comments that has found her fingers on thine keyboard to write the following statement. There is no such thing as high quality white chocolate. Shame. For shame. For shame. Put yourself in timeout in the corner, sit in a kiddie chair, and stay there for the rest of the day. For the rest of the day. I am so outdone with this statement, ma'am. Okay? How dare you? How dare you? Kimberly Douglas saying, just starting out, would like to start vlogging? Any suggestions for a great, reasonable camera and a ring light? Amazon has some really great ones on there for Neewer, Neewer, just a freaking weirdo name. How much money are you talking about spending for a camera? Like, don't tell me one thing and just be like, yeah, I really need like $200 less. Tell what's your actual price that you can drop on a camera, and then I'll look up a ring light real quick to show that there. So let's share the screen, I think, in 1 second. All right, share the screen here, and then take the comment. So Neewer has some ring lights. I wouldn't suggest the ones with the bulbs anymore, the actual like physical light bulbs or whatever, but they have the LED versions. Any of these that are like dimmable are fine. Even like you can see, it's got like a 5% off coupon with this one not coming. Like, they just need to change the dates for these that are not within a couple days to like eventually. We'll get it to you because that's what it feels like on Amazon when it says like, we can't get it to you eventually. But these Neewer ones are fine for a ring light because it's LED. They're dimmable. And so that'll do it for you, especially as close as you're usually getting with one of these. And even if used is a better buy for you price wise, that's fine. Because if you look at the picture, it's like an LED. The little dots for the lights, it's not an actual bulb, which people used to order these and they bust because the bulb just couldn't handle it in delivery and stuff. So I would say you a ring light there, $600. You saying is your price? For when it comes to, let's see, buying a camera, do you have a preference that you've kind of leaned on? Because usually, if you kind of know if you want, like, it's like, I really think the Canons are pretty cool. It's just like, or I kind of like, but if you're not sure and you just kind of open, then that kind of leaves the door open to a couple things. Let's share the screen again. And so this is on Amazon. So we got the M50 running for $499 new with a lens. We're talking about $600. G7. I don't recommend Panasonic at all, honestly, because the autofocus sucks and nobody has time to be twisting the freaking lens and trying to, like, unless you're experienced for real, manual focusing is for the birds. I hate doing it and I know what I'm doing. So Panasonic is a no-no. Really, it's just between Canon and Sony. And at this point, I'm kind of pushing everybody towards Sony. $498 if you don't need a flip up screen, if that's not important to you. You're looking at $403 and $498 for the A6000, like, especially if you're talking about live streaming. But honestly, I would talk about these M100s. Those are trash. Let's see, what do y'all got going on down here? Okay, I don't know. Fuji XT100. I like Fuji cameras, but that one sucked. because like, again, they're focusing. But this is where I'm saying, if you got like $500-$600, because you can get it used, this is Amazon's price right now. There are other sites that I've talked about, and I really do need to do that video on the best places to find used gear. Because you have Facebook Marketplace, you have mpb.com, Allen's Cameras, KEH, Adorama, B&H Photo. A6100 will give you the flip up screen, amazing autofocus, great colors. The battery isn't huge, but at the same time, you get a little power adapter and you're good to go. But this is the camera I would recommend here, the A6100, because all the lenses, all the quality, all the everything's, and even if you just get a basic kit lens, yeah, I'd be surprised that most of the videos that I've done recently on my channel have been with this cheap, which I haven't even talked about it because I was secretly testing it, this little cheap 16 millimeter lens that everybody dogs on the internet. I like grabbing these lenses that people dog out and putting it to work. I've been getting comments like, oh, I love the way this looks. Guess what? $70 lens, $100 lens, kit lens on the Sony cameras. So it's just like, if the sensor is good, like on the Sonys, the lenses can be a little bit worse. You may have a little bit of like, but for the most part, you can get around that. It not being the latest, greatest $400, $600 lens. Add on even a better lens, and it's just like, what the hell is happening here? Quality-wise, in a good way. Take a camera like the Canon M50. Hits a lot of good things. Good average camera, like fun to use. Quality from the sensor, it's like they're not giving it all it can do, so you do want to get better lenses. Not that it's bad, because if you look at any of the M50 video series, all that for the most part is on a kit lens, and sometimes like the 22 millimeter lens. So you can get by. So I would say like A6100 for the Sony is a good place to start. And let me go back, because I feel like I just wish I could delete this comment. I just wish I could delete this comment. This is disrespectful. I'm unsubscribing you at the end of I was really laughing about the one. I will accept no disrespect in this community, I assure you. But Adam is saying, right, that's why David and Luria stopped recommending Wirecast. That's why they basically a full-time customer service relationship. Yeah, it's just not worth it. At the end of the day, if something's not working. You said thine keyboard and key. Listen, it was biblical. It was worthy. So M saying, my friend Hank Stewart has a poem called Chocolate. We go back and forth because of dark chocolate. I don't understand the allure of a mud tasting, running shoe, quality, grit stuck in the crease of your jaw candy, also known as white chocolate. I don't even know why. Like, how is this even a discussion? Milk chocolate, it's the standard. It's important. It's in everything. Like, you need it. Dark chocolate, why do we even have it? This is the dark arts from Game of Thrones kind of stuff. It's disgusting. Adam saying, I actually had some white chocolate last week for my birthday. Well, happy belated birthday, Adam. Would you like for me to sing to you? I have a wonderful singing voice. I assure you, I was on The Voice. It was so good. They said, don't come back. We can't, it'll kill the competition. I said, fine, I'll do, I'll let everybody have a shot. Cause I know, you don't need the next Aretha Franklin shot. I'll just go make YouTube videos. Don't worry about it. No, just kidding. A happy belated birthday. Wait, it says 99 cents is tasty. That's awesome. Awesome. Okay. Didi saying Mac and Ecamm Live, super high quality white. Yes. Adam saying he liked Newer's products and get behind it. Awesome. Let's see here. Oh, Adam pointed out a good point here, saying make sure you check out the max and the minimum heights for the ring light, unless you're mounting it to a light stand. So yeah, that's where I'm thinking also is that it hopefully comes with an adjustable light stand that'll get you where you need it to be there. So every time I try to connect the M50 OBS, it becomes laggy. I have no idea what's what with OBS, unfortunately. Yeah, man. So Kimberly saying thanks, extremely helpful. My pleasure. Robbie saying that OBS rules. vMix crashed way too often. Problems that the CEO of vMix couldn't fix. And they recommended staying with OBS because it works with Ableton. Yeah, I think that's a good point too. Ableton Live is like that. I know some churches use it and stuff. And like, if my memory serves me correct, it's more audio based type software. It could be it's more compatible. And I think that's something we probably don't consider when we're talking about live streaming. Is who is it? Jake Goslin has a channel called Churchfront on YouTube. He talks a lot about that. And so even with live streaming, I think that's a good channel to follow when it comes to some of those things, and like making sure the same stuff works with the live streaming tool that you're trying to use, with the audio software and the other programs you actually need for the reason why you're live streaming. So I think that's important. All right. So I think that's all the comments and everything for real, questions wise and so forth. I don't think I missed anybody for real. Okay. I think, yeah, we covered all the ones. All right. So I guess unless you have any other questions, things that you need covered, questions answered, things like that, with finding gear or something or what have you, that's the only, I guess that's the thing with finding content online or use content or gear online, more or less right now. It's just the finding it and finding it at a good price. One tip that I can give y'all is when you go to B&H Photo, the way that I was able to find gear and equipment, you have to search in the morning, because if you're searching the used section like now, you already have a bunch of people that are have bought stuff, and like they were waiting to see what the new inventory. So what I'm finding pattern wise, let me share my screen real quick. What I'm finding pattern wise is that when you buy, and you're trying to buy from B&H, because like maybe the free shipping, no sales tax kind of a thing, coming from New York, then you look at what you gotta get past all the Panasonics. Olympus is not bad either. Now hold on your horses there. Let's try going by brand, and then let's do Sony. I was only 4 Canon right now. Them Canon cameras be gone. So if you search online for these on these websites, go in the morning, first thing in the morning, 6-7 o'clock in the morning, because the stuff that's on there, which all of these are super old, I wouldn't recommend none of those. Get the A6000 used with the lens for $379, so that's cool. The M3, I had that before. That's a questionable autofocus, but A6000 autofocus is really good though. M5, really good autofocus. It just screen flipped down, so that was a weird thing. But you can find, like, they'll list new things, new used equipment. Like, you can ask now, like, hey, do y'all have any used Canon M50s? And they'll be like, no, if you ask them right now. Excuse me. But then you go in the morning and you check, and they may have some that they literally just, make available that next morning. So if you don't see something today, go back in there and we're really in the price range now, but go back in there in the morning and you'll be able to find the good stuff. Like I found on Adorama. Oh my gosh, people are buying stuff on Adorama fast. So same rules apply. If you see it, like put all the other stuff in there first, like lenses, memory cards, whatever else you go buy. Buy the camera. I had an A6600 in my cart. I'm checking out. I'm putting in the payment stuff. And it was just like, this camera has been sold. And I'm like, no, like it was for like $1,000. And I was just like, why? Like, how could you let them steal this from me? People buy stuff so fast. But if you go in the morning, 6-7 o'clock in the morning, you check and you just go ahead and grab it. Go ahead and grab it. Don't wait. Don't try to, just go ahead and grab it. But if you check out these websites in the morning, 6-7 o'clock in the morning, get up early and just see what they have uploaded since last night. They'll be processing stuff now and tonight. The stuff that came in that's not in the systems yet, they got to tag it. And then in the morning, it's online. They'll tell you tonight they don't have any because it's not in the system. So they technically can't tell you. In the morning, it'll come and it'll pop up for even like memory cards. If you want some used memory cards or whatever, or lenses and all of that, same rules apply. I'll probably put on the community tab in a minute after this stream is over, where you can go and the list of websites. And then Facebook Marketplace is good. Be careful because of Rona. But hey, we got a super to chat there from the Brown. Appreciate your openness earlier. A small contribution to Black business. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that so very much. I really, really do. From your home to my home, I appreciate that because you did not have to. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Adam saying, thanks, Diane. Always a pleasure and very educational. My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you for being here and for your time. Robbie saying, thank you. Have a great weekend. You as well. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Be safe. Be careful. Get something good to eat. Viper Ram 2003. Good to see you. Said Canon's new Mac webcam utility isn't working for me on OBS. It pops up as an option, but doesn't work. I don't have OBS. I don't have OBS, but I still haven't installed it yet. So I'm going to record what that process is like. See if I can find out any little hiccups or anything. Just make sure, the only thing I know of thus far, make sure you don't have any other things that are pulling on that feed though either. Like the EOS utility app, if you got that installed on your computer, make sure that isn't taking it up and stuff like that. And then the last question here is asking, is green screen a bad word in streaming in 2020? No, I just think it's a little outdated. Unless you're going to do something fun or you're into gaming or something like that. I think it's relevant when used properly, but I think it's cool though too to have like realness behind you. Like, like you'll see that book bag, like I said, back there for me doing an unboxing and all that stuff back there. And you see my X-Men action figures for Storm, John Coltrane picture, stuff like that. I think that's important. We can't see it because it's all blurry, but I think it's important to kind of like show you in your streams, even if it's just like my bookshelves, not to show like, oh, I'm smart, but I care about learning. I love reading and stuff like, so it's my personality and more of me behind me versus just like a green screen and a picture of the great library or in Alexandria type picture looking thing. I don't think it's a bad word. I just think it can be outdated unless you're using it for a reason or for something fun or whatever. So thank you for the great information. My pleasure, MMM. And Omar Savage saying, hi, Dan. It just came in. And I do have a question about the M50. Okay. Is there any update info to buy battery life with the adapter? Can you show me? Because I'm really interested to buy one right now. Okay. So I see the keyboard got at you. So I would say if you're trying to do battery life with the M50 right now, it's going to be because the Capaxon one that I recommend on, like I have a video on it on the channel. The Capaxon one is sold out. Where's the video link? I'll be able to drop that in the, let's get shareable link. Okay, I'll be able to drop this in the description right now. That is the link to the video that I did on the battery power options for the M50 that I recommend, own, and use when I'm using the M50. That RISE-UP one, however it's spelled and really pronounced, who knows. But that RISE-UP one, that's the only one that seems to stay in stock. But that's going to be your best option for like unlimited battery life using a power adapter. The M50 doesn't charge internally. It doesn't, have USB power. None of that stuff is natively built into it. That's going to be your best bet. So even if you want to power the camera off of a battery bank, that RISE-UP adapter is going to be able to work. You can also get the little adapter plug to plug it into the wall, and that'll work for you also. So that's probably the best bang for the buck. It's like $20. So that's where I'm going to go with that one. I got to get something to eat. I'm hungry. I got in my mind a taste for some fried catfish fillets, and I'm going to get that. So I appreciate y'all. Love you. Always. Y'all be safe, be compassionate, be kind, be loving, get you some rest. How about we just all do that? Don't do none of the stuff I said before. Get you some rest and chill out this weekend. Relax. Enjoy your family. Smile. Find a reason to laugh. Watch a good cartoon that made you smile a long time ago or something like that. But enjoy yourself this weekend. Take a breath. Live life as best as you can in the midst of Rona. And Chocolate Twist Yoga, you're banned from the channel for your offenses and just comments against white chocolate. And so, uh, but that's like, y'all have a restful and joyful weekend, and yeah, just do those things. All right, y'all. Y'all take care. Peace, love, hair grease. And with that, my friends, live with passion. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.